Well, most Coloradans love our state for three things. We got the history, we got the hiking, so we got the hops, baby. We've uncovered a new book you should definitely check out before you hit the trail this weekend. Local author and journalist Ed Sealover put together the ultimate Colorado tour book, Colorado Excursions with History, Hikes, and Hops. It offers 10 three-day excursions full of nature, history, and unique watering holes. Ed Sealover joins us this morning with a great look at his brand new book. It's so nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me on to talk about it.
So, of course, everybody here knows you from the Business Journal writing politics and business. I had no idea that you had a love for beer.
Yeah, this started way back in college, and when I was at the Colorado Springs Gazette in 2003, I talked the entertainment editor into letting me write a beer column down there. That grew into a blog, my first book, and finally into this one that came out last week.
This is an awesome book. You have to get this if you want to tour Colorado and have a staycation. Pick it up. People love history. People love hikes. But again, you actually discovered the best beer here in our state. Where did you come up with the idea for this book?
You know, it actually came from an interview I did for my first book, Mountain Brew, A Guide to Colorado's Breweries, in which two of the best brewers in the state, Brian Dunn of Great Divide and Adam Avery of Avery Brewing, both said they started out their brewery, they struggled because they were trying to do what everybody else was doing, and then they just threw it out the window, made beers they loved that nobody else was drinking, and really hit success. And so as I was thinking of a follow-up to my first book, I said, well, what do I love? I love history, I love nature, I love drinking beer, and I don't know how many people love that threesome like I do, but I really think that these are the three things that define our state. These are the three things you look for to really find the soul of our state. And so I thought, let's go for it and put out a really unique guidebook.
It's so fun. You have Leadville to Aspen, and you really broke it down into two regions. How crazy was it crisscrossing all over the state?
It was a lot of fun, actually. I'd been to a lot of these places before. I've been living here since 2000, but my wife and I, with our then one-year-old son, decided this was going to be our summer last summer. We would just take one-week trips that are pretty much the same time frame I have in the book and try things out, and it was hectic, but it was a blast. You never got bored, and everything surprised you.
What a great trip, Cortez to Durango. But you also featured some oddball destinations, which is fun. Where's the Trail of America's favorite cannibal?
This is in Lake City, which is actually the most remote city in the lower 48 states. It's out in southwest Colorado. And this is where Alfred Packer killed, well, depending on who you believe, definitely 5 victims in 1874 to survive. May have killed them as well. He was convicted of it. And going out there, I thought, was really a chance to show people how remote this state can be.
Right.
You can go out to the site on a really out there plain where the 5 victims are buried, and then you can go into the museum where you see his shackles, even the dollhouse he built while he was in the state penitentiary.
Cuckoo.
And then you can go over to the Lakes County Court, or to the Hinsdale County Courthouse, and see the sentence handed down by the judge. Very eloquent sentence that's been wildly misquoted over the years.
Really? That's eerie.
Yeah.
That's kind of spooky, but fun, I would imagine,
It
going
was.
through it.
And it was the first time I'd ever been to Lake City, so it was a good chance to see places that even I hadn't gotten to.
What about your favorite hike?
You know, probably the one that surprised me the most was Zapata Falls, which is about a half-mile away from the Great Sand Dunes, which is also one of the best hikes in the state. But this is just a little hike into a grotto. It's only a half-mile in, half-mile out, but you actually get into a waterfall. Not come up and see a waterfall. You climb into the waterfall, and there are people climbing up and right where the water's coming down. It's the most immersive and unreal experience I had during this time.
And your beautiful wife has been very supported. Her name's Denise, too?
Yes,
Hey, gotta like the girl already. How did she support you with this book?
Well, she did the maps for this book. She was my editor for this book. She really helped me narrow down. We spent a couple months before we traveled figuring out what was going to be in here. She helped me narrow that down. And most of all, while I'm tinkering through old gold mills or haunted hotels, she is with our one-year-old son, Lincoln, at the time, letting me do this.
That's so sweet. You guys have a great relationship. That's awesome. Very supportive of one another.
Absolutely.
I have to ask you your favorite craft brewery.
You know, the one you're going to find me at the most is probably Strange Craft Beer, just south of Sports Authority Field, or whatever it may be called soon. Wonderful selection of beers down there. But the one that I really love to highlight from this book is Three Barrel Brewing in Del Norte, a town of 1,800 people, one stoplight in the San Luis Valley. Make complex Belgian beers. Actually start out in the back of the owner's insurance office. So you would go in, you'd buy a policy for your pickup, and you'd also pick up a growler of beer. He's moved into a pizza place now, but fantastic, and one of the real finds in this state.
You are so much fun to talk to. Thank you for letting us explore your your new book.
No, thank you for having me on to talk about it.
Great. Okay, before you head out on your next weekend adventure, you got to do it. Plan out your trip with this great tour book, Colorado Excursions with History, Hikes, and Hops. It's available right now at most major book retailers and online at Amazon.com or, of course, BarnesandNoble.com. You can also meet Ed and get a copy of his book at upcoming book signings. He'll be hooked on books in Colorado Springs tomorrow at 5 p.m. This Saturday, you can catch up with him at the Cripple Creek District Museum from 10 a.m. until noon. Next month, Ed will be signing copies of his book at the Tattered Cover Colfax store in Denver. Check it out and then share your summer adventures with Ed on his Facebook page, facebook.com/Colorado Excursions with HHH.